Alright guys, welcome to 4.6 Savage. Now today I wanted to talk about poly bushings. Now, this is a poly front sway bar bushing. This is for a 30mm sway bar, which is a stock sway bar found on GTs, or at least the 97 that is. Now my old ones I had came with the brackets and they were greasable. Since I already have the brackets, I don't need the brackets, so I just got the bushings, since I did crack the old bushings. But I'll give you a breakdown of what poly is. Your stock bushings are rubber. Rubber is very pliable and it compresses very easily. Like I would be able to compress it in my hand, but unlike with poly, poly is a harder material. Also known as polyurethane, but we all call them polys. Now, poly gives you less flex and less give. This means better handling and less movement of the suspension components, which you don't want when you're doing a high performance build. Now, I've replaced these when my bushings were worn out. I noticed a big difference just from the frame bushings. I went from the frame bushings, got my greasable fittings, reworked them, put it all together, and I could feel it when I would go in between lanes or anything. It didn't dip as much, and I already have high rate springs. So if I was noticing not as much dip with high rate springs, it's making a difference. Now, I also went with poly end links too. This made a big difference as well. Now, these are from Energy Suspension. Of course, I like black, so I got the black ones. They also come in red. Now, a lot of my car already has poly parts. Like my rear control arms are poly. Poly is so much more stiffer and durable. It lasts a lot longer than rubber and is impervious to oils and everything as such as rubber is. It doesn't deteriorate as fast. It lasts a lot longer. Now, for the control arms, the rear control arms, I had heard that using poly is bad for your torque boxes because it could, in fact, snap your torque boxes off. Now, most likely, these bushings are not that hard. The bushing is going to give before the poly that destroys your torque box. Unless your torque box is rusted out, then yeah, I would worry about it. But other than that, I've been running the polys for a good 2 years and have never had an issue with breaking torque boxes or anything. My car is still fine. Now, besides that, these were like $20. The end links were like $20. Poly is kind of expensive, but it's worth it. I am thinking about doing poly on my control arms. I'm not so sure right now for my fronts. Haven't figured out what I'm going to do there. As of currently, next week I should be getting my converter shipped to me. After that, I will be starting the disassembly process, and I will be taking videos along the way. I will be talking about what I am doing, how much I have to change, what is needed to do a V6 to V8 swap, or you understand what I meant there, V8 to V6. But it will be a long process, and I will make videos along the way of everything I decide to upgrade. I will also go through the mods that I've already done on Rose and explain them a lot better. Like, I know I haven't done a video on the heads very well, but to do a video on what the followers and everything I have, I just special little pieces that I haven't mentioned before, and all that. So you guys stay tuned, and maybe in a while or so you can get. Just remember, be savage.